I've spent $10,000 on psychedelic therapy and I haven't missed a dollar of it. Now, I'm not some rich person, okay? I was able to save up throughout the years. One thing costed 1,500, another thing costed 1,500, flights here and there cost this, blah blah blah. And it was through a few years. Was it about 6 years? And as I was going through it, the money was a hard thing to justify in my head. But after the first one, right? After my first MDMA therapy session, I was like, oh, well, this is worth all the money, because the impact to my life that this has, there's no amount of money that would improve that. Even if I had all, like, I could put $10 million into the bank, or I could put $1 million in the bank and just live off the interest and not really have to work as much. No, it still wouldn't have the impact that psychedelic therapy had, just that first one. So I think that a lot of people see the price tag associated with some things, with some psychedelic therapy, and some people charge too much. I really do believe that some people charge too much. And like I had a therapist I was going to do therapy with, and she was going to charge 4,500 for a session, and I was like, whoa, that is crazy. Like, how am I gonna do that? And then I found someone who I connected with on a better level, on a better personal level, and she was 1,500, and just so happened to just be better. She's just a better therapist. I couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else. But that's one of the problems too. Is there's different people charging different prices, and you just don't know. And so I shopped around, but and talked to different people, and it just lined up with the one I picked. But anyways, as far as the money goes, I wish the one of the big reasons why I trying to build businesses and stuff is so that I have more money to provide psychedelic therapy for more people that come into my life who want it. I don't want to force anybody to do it, but people in, you have friends and they've got family members who are dealing with addiction. They're dealing with bipolar illnesses, mental illnesses and stuff. The psychedelic therapy is it seems to be the most beneficial thing that people like that can do, because it reorients your relationship with God and with yourself and with your past traumas that have brought about these addictions and these illnesses, these mental illnesses. So, that's why I am trying to build online and provide as much value to people who are seeking this type of information out, because I didn't have anybody breaking this stuff down back in the day. Nobody was talking about prices and stuff, and I was kind of like, just I didn't know who to talk to. So I saw Tucker Max do an interview with Michaela Peterson and Jordan Peterson's daughter, and they were talking, and he mentioned he had a blog that he wrote down his experience, and said that you can reach out to him and he can hook you up and give you some advice. And I was like, whoa, cool, all right. So I read his vlog and or his blog, and I really liked what he had to say. And so I emailed him, and he's a blunt dude. He's straight to it. And his emails were so blunt. I've gone back and read them, and it's so funny. But that's just, he's like that guy. But he hooked me up with that lady that was charging like $4,500. I just saw the business aspect of it. She was definitely trying to make a profit. Definitely trying to make a profit. And she was in Beverly Hills. So understandably so. Those people can afford it. And that's how that's what you do. But like, I couldn't. So, I found a lady in another state that my friend was randomly came across, and got on the phone with her and immediately knew that she was the right person that I needed. And she charged $1,500, which makes way more sense. Way more sense. So, it's a tough thing because, something like psychedelic therapy, you do have to dedicate a lot of time to. If you're going to be a therapist, you have to sit with somebody for, close to all day. And so it's and you have to, you have to do a lot of research. You have to, you have to show up. So, and to be able to show up for that amount of time, it would be better if it was your only job, And the best way to do that is to charge a lot of money. It's hard to make a living $20 an hour. So I understand why people charge more money, but that's always what you're coming in contact with. So, but anyways, I've stuck with her. I've had friends of mine who have gone with her. People I know have gone with her as well. And look, at the end of the day, it's the person the therapist that you find to sit with you has a lot to do with the benefit that you have from it, because of whether if they had the ability to allow you to speak just enough and then get back into your session, then that's all they need to do. But a lot of people want to be a therapist and they haven't done their personal work, but they care and they want to make a business out of it, and they want to help other people, and they think they know what they're talking about. Just like in any industry, as a personal trainer, there are good trainers, there are mediocre trainers, and there are shitty trainers. So you just got to find the right ones for you. But $10,000 is a lot of money. But the way that I look at it, and this is honestly true, like, wrapping this video up, going back to like the value that a personal trainer tries to give, saying that, a personal trainer is, what I sell is, lose the 30 pounds, have more respect for yourself, all your relationships improve, your business improves, you make more money, your relationships improve because of the lifestyle changes, and you can enjoy your life more. So blah, blah. It's like this, domino effect. But that's only a little bit of the improvement in your life that you can have. The biggest improvement in your life you can have is from a relationship with God and psychedelic therapy. So, like $10,000 on improving that is well worth it, because you can really say that this therapy can improve your business. That it can improve your relationship with your wife. It can improve your relationship with your kids. It improves your relationship with yourself and and with the Lord. It has improved mine. It's exponentially more impactful to your life than losing that 30 pounds. Not saying losing the 30 pounds is not impactful, but like, you've lost the 30 pounds. Okay, let me put this into perspective here. You've lost the 30 pounds, okay? But you still overeat. You still have the anxiety that causes you to overeat, okay? And you don't know why, right? Psychedelic therapy, on the other hand, you go to the root of your anxiety and you find out, oh, I'm anxious because of this happening when I was a kid, and this is how I reacted to it, and I've been reacting in that way ever since, and I've just been on the hamster wheel, and I haven't been able to get a bird's eye view of my life and be able to assess it properly so that I could be aware of my triggers, not let those affect me, stop the hamster wheel, get off, and move into a more productive and beneficial way. That's way more effective for improvement in your overall life quality and relationships than losing 30 pounds. Because once you figure that out, then you don't have to be on this yo-yo diet all the time. You don't have to overeat all the time. You can see your triggers and be like, oh, okay, that's why I gained that 30 pounds, because I reacted this way in the past. Let me go pray. Let me go work out. Let me go for a walk. Let me call a friend. Let me go do something for somebody. Let me go, read a good book. Let me learn something. Let me work on a hobby. Let me do all these things, and remember that past version of myself doesn't have to continue. That pain doesn't have to continue. I've given myself grace. I've forgiven myself. I've been forgiven by the Lord. I can move forward. That is going to improve all your relationships. Let's say you own a business, and you can finally move past your triggers, or you can see your triggers. Now when you're in meetings with people and they start acting a certain way, you don't have to react back. You don't have to be reactive. You can sit there, see it, and correct, and make a better judgment call than how you would naturally do it based on, the 40, 50 years of how you've acted in the past, right? So it's so much more beneficial for you to do psychedelic therapy and figure all that stuff out than to not, lose the 30 pounds. Anyways, that's my whole point. And you clearly see this because, the best shows, the best movies are, writing characters and showing characters come to grips with their past so that they can work through the problems in their life now and get out of their own way, which is a very hard thing to do, but that is the only way you can do it, is you have to, reconcile with the past. Sadly, it costs a lot sometimes to do that. Now, look, there's enough information out there online so that you can kind of get a grasp of what psychedelic therapy is. But, being with someone who knows how to do it is super beneficial. But I'm not saying that you can do it on your own, but there's information on how people do this, right? $10,000, the $10,000 I spent, yeah, I don't miss it at all. One, because money doesn't have as much pull anymore, because I reconnected with what's more meaningful than money, which is relationships. And, the main one being my relationship with God through his son, Jesus Christ. So, when I reconnect with that, the money I had to spend to, go through this process, work through these things, it's worth it. That $10,000 just doesn't, it's just money. It's not what makes me happy. It's not what brings purpose and fulfillment. And it's weird. It's weird that that relationship with money changes so drastically the deeper you connect with meaning. Because, the love of money dilutes your relationship with the real and meaningful things. And it turns you into something, obviously we know this, it turns you into something that you don't want to be. We see it in other people. It's hard to see it in ourselves, but we do see it in other people. And the future is coming real fast. And with AI advancing so quickly and robotics becoming a thing, we're not going to, I mean, jobs are going to be limited. So are we going to be working anymore? Well, we might not be able to, the government will have to create some type of universal basic income to help everybody get by, because jobs will be done. But then the real problem comes up, which is like, okay, what do you do with your free time? You're not going to find meaning in the job that you have to go to pay for rent and pay for food. That might be taken care of. So now how do you find meaning now? It's going to be difficult. It'll be difficult in its own way, than how it is right now. So, that's what I'm prepping for. And I know that, it's going to hit us really hard. And that's why I talk about what I talk about. It's like, hopefully, if this resonates with somebody, they can seek these things out and build that relationship with God and with meaning that they need to, just to live life the way God intended, which is, with gratitude and with a little bit of joy. So, anyways, those are some thoughts. $10,000 down the drain. So much grace, so much humility, and wise lessons learned that are impacting everything in my life now. My relationship with my fiance, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my clients, my relationship with myself and with God. It's just, I just see all the connection, like my relationship with God, me, those two relationships affect everything. And if I improve those two, then, everything else can be what it potentially could be, which is, a better version.